is Pingin66. Welcome everyone, my name is Pingin66. For those of you who don't know me, I am an aquatic ecologist specializing in freshwater ecology. We are going to be doing the first of what I hope is a long-running series called Fish Friday, where every Friday on a Twitch stream, for the last part of my stream, I give a very short introductory class about a fish species. I encourage you to come join us, and let's get started. Also, Twitch chat is over here, so if they have any questions, they will be asking me. So, we'll go for it. So, for those of you who do not know, these are pictures of the Guadalupe bass. This is actually the state fish of Texas. It is part of the sunfish family, and as you can see right here, it has barring down the sides. It does have nice eyes. Yes, Junior, it's very pretty eyes. One of the species that you might get this confused with if you are actually fishing would be the largemouth bass. But the largemouth bass, you look, there's multiple ways you can do it. But the Guadalupe bass, if you look at the dorsal fin, you see that it is heavily connected. The final spine is right along the dorsal rays. Whereas if you look at the largemouth bass, it's kind of hard to see. Maybe we can zoom in. I don't know how to zoom. Boomer, I guess. But you can see that the dorsal spin actually comes very close to the back, almost looking like it's two separate fins. So, and we can go back, look at other pictures. You can see that barring, sometimes they get these spotted. Sometimes they'll have a dark red eye, especially in breeding colors. All down the back is a very mottled pattern. Let's see if I can find a picture looking from the top down. Well, there you go. Kind of hard to see, but you can see that just regular modeling down the sides. Hopefully we get better at this, and this was something I literally thought of last night. So, hopefully I'll be a little bit better. I'll get into that, Ski-Bum. So, in fact, I'll just get into it now. So these are actually the state fish of Texas, and they are only found in the hill country of Texas. And the hill country of Texas is a very centralized part of Texas. It's right in the middle. There's a lot of spring streams, very little flow, very flash floody. It's real pretty. It's where I live, actually. I catch these very often. So, oh, this is actually a really good picture. That's actually a mount, but anyway, so it is the state fish of Texas. It's only found in the hill country. I personally, Junior, do not like the taste of black bass, which is what a Guadalupe bass is. A largemouth bass, rock bass, smallmouth bass. I don't personally like the taste of them. Other people, they do, but I wouldn't eat them for a number of different reasons. Even though it is the state fish of Texas, almost went extinct due to hybridization and predation. Back in the early 1900s, we stocked largemouth bass and smallmouth bass everywhere in the state. They are not illegal to eat. But we stocked smallmouth bass and largemouth bass everywhere in the state to increase fishing opportunities. Turns out not only did the other bass love to eat these Guadalupe bass, but they also hybridized. So it's not just the fact that they almost went extinct, it's that there was almost no genetically pure strains of this fish left in the wild. And for those of you who do not have a science background, you really want to avoid having outside genes inside of a population, especially ones that are very confined to an area, because it just runs rampant throughout the population. There has been further research. There was actually a couple of small little communities of this fish that were found to be genetically pure. And since then, there has been a lot of removal of smallmouth bass and largemouth bass from the habitat that these fish live in, and ongoing restocking efforts in reaches of the river where they were extirpated. This is not a big fish. Hey, thank you, Ski Bum, for that 100 bits. This is not a big bass. This is not what you would think a big bass. This right here, this guy, that is probably 1.5 pound Guadalupe bass. That's actually a really big Guadalupe. These fish really like being in smaller rivers. They like being in very shallow waters. They don't actually like pools. They want swift moving water. Because of that, when you get into that sort of preferred habitat, your fishes are going to be much smaller than such as your lake fish, which can have the room to grow. Let's see, what else can I talk about with it? Very heavily sought after by fly fishermen in Texas. It's the amount of money that it is predicted to bring into the hill country is actually insane. I want to say just this one city in the hill country, it brings close to $400,000 per year just by people coming to fly fish for this bass. And that's just one city. I'm not talking about like the state, like one city brings that in. By the way, I completely missed this. This is actually a good picture. Anyway, so the history, how big is the largest? I can actually look that up on my phone. Hello, Daisy. Daisy is coming to say hi to YouTube. There we go. You can go on the IGFA. Wow, that is terrible. The IGFA has a actual application. It did cost a little bit of money, but if you are interested in fishing, it is a neat little app to have. It has all of the verified world records in the world. Link, I don't really have a link, just IGFA, International Game Fishing Association. So the largest Guadalupe bass was caught in 1983, weighed 3 pounds 11 ounces. So that is the verified world record for Guadalupe bass. So that tells you how big they get. It is not a very big fish. There's a possibility that that's even a hybridized Guadalupe bass. So like this one right here, this to me looks like it has some smallmouth genes in the population. That modeling is not looking correct. So are there any, oh, here you go, the range map of the Guadalupe bass. So here you go. There is where the Guadalupe bass are found in Texas. Almost specifically within the San Antonio and Canadian Is this my favorite fish? It is actually not my favorite fish. It's definitely an interesting fish, and I definitely enjoy talking about it, but it is not my favorite fish. It is not even my favorite local fish. T-Bomb. But do we have any further questions about the Guadalupe bass? Seems to be no questions. So, well, is there anything that you would like me to talk about? Anything that y'all would prefer me to talk about? Pufferfish. So next week we will be doing the pufferfish. I don't know the species of it. got to do some research on it, but we will be talking about the pufferfish species found in that video, not pufferfish in there. Ski bum, they are actually sought out for their for how much they fight on a rod and reel. They fight really hard. So you're talking about a 1 pound Guadalupe bass will fight like a 4 pound largemouth bass and fight hard and heavy. They will constantly pull, try and get away from you. It's a really fun fish for because of how much it fights. That's why fly fishermen love to go after them. There is a little bit of a rarity to it. Not everyone can see the Guadalupe bass. I'm not gonna lie, I see so many Guadalupe bass that's honestly kind of another fish for me. I do think they're cool and interesting, and their story is incredible. You know, the state fish of Texas was very close to being extinct. Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe. We'll see where this goes. I'm probably going to keep doing this. That way people can watch it on YouTube anytime they want. Hopefully you have a great day, and please leave me any questions in the comments below. Thank you.